this is really going to be sort of pieces of a puzzle trying to figure out who in software benefits from the second derivative. Clearly the hyperscale players, and we would argue even cybersecurity are going to benefit as more workloads move to the cloud.
So Dan, as soon as I get off the air here and finish up my 27 straight hours of radio, I'm going to go to my Apple Store app, and I'm going to pre-order that Apple.
Oh, this is today? You're doing it today?
I'm going to do it today. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Already gave me my instructions. Apple 16 Pro, I'm going to spend $1 gajillion. How many people are out there are going to be doing the same thing? How big is this new phone?
Well, first off, I mean, I think it is huge news. The Sweeney upgrade.
Yes.
I mean,
No, it's huge.
Like
this is the top, or this is the start of the super cycle.
I mean, for years.
Exactly.
For years, the Sweeney upgrade. And I know, but Paul, I mean, I think now it comes down to, it's not just you. There's 300 million iPhones that haven't upgraded in 4+ years. And this is everything we're seeing here in Asia is showing that this is leading to what we believe is going to be an AI-driven super cycle. And I think we'll see this with pre-orders and obviously go into the next week. But I think demand's going to be pretty robust here. Street, I think, still underestimating what this is going to be about.
Okay, but are people in China really buying into that super cycle? Like, I know Asia is bigger than just China, but can we have a super cycle without a super strong China demand for the iPhone?
Yeah, so it's a great point. You cannot have a super cycle without growth in China. To that point, you have 100 million iPhones in China that are in that window of an upgrade opportunity. And everything we're seeing, that actually China, you will now start to see moderate to significant growth in the region from iPhone 16 over, call it the next year. And that's huge for Apple. I mean, that goes from a headwind to a tailwind, which is really key to this whole sum of the parts story as it plays out and they monetize China front and center.
So, folks, when technology analysts like Dan Ives go to Asia, it's not just to see their clients. The big reason is to do what they call channel checks. Since much of global tech, hardware, software comes out of that part of the world, you get a good sense of kind of who's making this stuff, who's buying this stuff, who's selling this stuff. So, Dan Ives, what's kind of the vibe you're getting from your channel checks there in Asia these days?
Yeah, I mean, look, across Taiwan and I think just across Asia, demand is not slowing. I mean, it's accelerating in terms of broader when we look at from a chip perspective in AI, which I think is very, very important. I mean, Jensen talked about it this week. Demand's outstripping supply. We think 12 to 15x. And that is the most important thing is the use cases, whether it's Oracle or Palantir, that will ultimately be the drivers. But enterprises, we're talking about $1 trillion of CapEx that ultimately is coming to tech over the next 3 to 4 years.
What is that what you make of the NVIDIA rally the last 5 days? Like, how do you understand that structural shift and that thesis versus the daily swings of some of the biggest players where seemingly they become more important than central banks some days and drag up the broader equity market? And I can't find a headline on that.
Look, I think that was a confluence of things from the watch parties to technicals to just coming into September and obviously the macro sell-off tech front and center. But I think, look, anyone that's doing checks in tech, you're not coming back in any way negative on NVIDIA. I mean, it is actually getting more and more incremental, not just for NVIDIA chips, and I think broader the AI revolution. So we're going to have these ebbs and flows, but I continue to believe this will be a tech market that ultimately rallies into year end because I think it all comes down to fundamentals. And macro's going to do what macro's going to do, but we are not seeing any. So it is an acceleration clearly that we're seeing over the last few weeks.